All right, the unicorn. I'd love your feedback / advice on this. I recently met a very sweet, smart, and attractive lady. We've been texting back and forth for a few days, getting to know each other, and eventually got to the how many people have you slept with question. Okay, I was upfront and honest and told her my number. And when it was her turn, she told me she was a virgin. That's right, she's a unicorn. I've never heard that expression. But it doesn't stop there. She went on to tell me she's never had a boyfriend. Keep in mind, she's 21. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm old school and love that she's a virgin, especially in this world full of hooas. But it's still weird. There's no pleasing you. You just called every other woman out there, basically, who gives sex whores, and then she's weird. All right, we went on the first date a few days later, and she lived up to my expectations. She was hot, smart, funny, and I had a great time. My question is, how is it possible that this smoking hot and seemingly perfect girl is a virgin, let alone has never had a boyfriend? I'm not complaining, but I'm wondering if she's lying or if there's something that I don't see. Well, I mean, I think you're going to physically, I think you're going to, unless she played softball and the ball took a weird hop, right? Wait, whose story was that? Oh, my God, that just popped out of my head. That was a comic from way back when. I don't even think she does it anymore. Used to tell a story on stage about how she was playing some sport and she got hit and broke her hymen. I don't know what to tell you, dude. He said, what's he saying here? I don't want to get into something with her and then find out she's a crazy or worse. Thank you for the feedback, and as always, go fuck yourself. So, dude, what? Just keep dating her and just see how it goes. If she's fucking nuts, walk away. If she is great, 21, that's a little older, but it's not like 31. 26, 27, that's when you're starting to go but someone could just be really fucking walled off, really could have had overbearing parents or whatever. I don't know. She kind of really let you in and told something really intimate about herself. You're just in a spot where you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. So if I was you, I'd be asking myself, why am I asking that? Who did I date before this that's making me think that this is going to be an absolute shit show? Now, look, I would be lying to you if I said that, if some woman was smoking hot or something like that and came up to me, I would think at some point someone would have talked her in to the rack by 21 nowadays. But 21 isn't that old. I say you write it out. It's a good enough situation. See what happens. And if you're worried that she's a psycho, just don't get too fucking, crazy and with the chick. And then, after a while, I don't know, maybe you could actually have a conversation with her at some point. Don't be so blunt how some fucking chick as hot as you never had a dick in her. Don't say it like that. Just be like, I don't know. You know what? Don't listen to me. Don't fucking bring that up. But I would continue to see her. If you're having a good time, I would continue to see her. And, if you're really concerned, I would just hide the knives in your kitchen the first time she stays over. Just make sure the bat's on your side of the bed if you really think there's going to be a problem. But that's if she even gets in the bed, so we'll see. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast. For Monday, September 5th, 2016, what's going on? How are you? Sorry the podcast is so late today. That's a lie. I'm not sorry. I'm full is what I am. I went to a Labor Day party, I had to make a fucking pie. That's what I do. They go, hey, bring something, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And I said, all right, man, I'll fucking, I'll make a fucking pie. And I was doing that this morning, and then the thing started at noon, and I went over there, and I've been doing so well with my diet. Last week, I told you I was almost 190. It was 189.8. I need to get down to a $171.72 for my special on October 21st. So I stepped on the scale yesterday, and even though the weigh-in was for Tuesday, by Tuesday I wanted to be down to 186, but I was 185.6 by Sunday. So the first week you always do a big drop. You can drop like 3-4 pounds just because your body's so fucking shocked. Like, oh my God, salad, what the hell's this? You know, you throw a little bit of cardio in it, you can drop. But now this week is the week my body goes like, oh, so we're doing this now. Oh, okay. And then it starts to slow down. So I really got to go hard. So I got down to 186, 185.6, made it by 4 ounces. And so next week I got to be 183. That's it. I just keep going. 183, 180, 177, 174, 171. And then I should have like a week to go. And as long as I'm not a fucking moron, I won't look like fucking Billy Fat Tits on my special. In between specials, you know, what are you going to do? But, you know, that's one of the good things about doing a special. Every 2 years, man, I get in shape. So anyways, I went to this party today, and it was just like, they had everything laid out, right? And then in the other room, they had the salads. And that's, if I saw those, I would have gone for them because I was in such a good headspace. I had my eggs with my fucking oatmeal. I had a grapefruit for fucking snack. My body was just like, we're good. We're not craving sugar, not craving salt. And I went in there. The salads were in the other room, and right out in the open, they had burgers. They had dogs. They had a nacho making machine, and old Freckles hit it. Oh, I hit every station. Went in there like Ric Flair. Woo! Just fucking ate them all. It's that voice in the back of your head silently. What are you doing? Stop. And I just couldn't stop. What do you want, something to drink? You know, we got waters, we got beer, we got, what do you want? What do you want? And I'm thinking, drink a water. My mouth just goes, yeah, I'll try a beer. So I had a beer. Then I had a root beer. Then I had a little of this banana cream pie. Then, of course, I had to cut into my pie because nobody was fucking eating it. That happens a lot, by the way. You know? There's that thing when you become an adult and you've completely lost all sense of who the fuck you are. You know, you're in a relationship, you're just fucking busy 24/7, you got bills, your kitchen's fucked up. You know what I mean? You don't even know what you're doing anymore, you're putting on weight. The one thing that you have as a fucking adult is that you go to a party, you make some food, and you just sit there hoping somebody's going to eat it, say it's good, and validate your fucking existence. You know? Nobody dug into the pie. And then there's tricks. There's tricks. What you do is when nobody's looking, you dig into your own shit, right? You try to position it to a place where other people can see it. You know, and you dig into your own pie or your own fucking souffle, whatever the fuck you made, right? Hoping that, you know, it's like when you're at an auction, you know, and you're selling a car and nobody's bidding on it. You know, there are people that will actually bid on their own car trying to get people going. You're priming the pump. You're playing a little fucking, you're gambling. Oh, I'm laying down. That's how much I ate today. Laying down on the fucking floor like a goddamn freckled dog. Yeah, so then people finally dug into it. Crust was great as always, but I don't know if the blueberries weren't fucking ripe or if I didn't use enough sugar. You know, this one called for like lemon zest. I felt like there should have been lemon juice in there. It was just way too fucking tart, though. So I guess the lemon juice wouldn't have helped. It needed something else, though. I got to tell you, it needs something else. But, you should have seen the pie crust, though. The old upstairs, downstairs, you know. Anybody can, you know, the downstairs one is hard enough. When you try to make that top pie crust to meet the other one, that is a shit show. That is a fucking shit show waiting to happen. The first few times I made it would always like split at the top, and then you want it to be totally smooth, right? Because if you fuck up the bottom one, no one sees it because you got the filling. But if you fuck up the top one, that's when people know if you're an expert or you're intermediate or you suck. And this one actually came out great. And then, of course, the filling wasn't that good. But if you had a little scoop of ice cream with it, it was fine. So embarrassing. I had to go fucking eat my own pie. No, actually, I mentioned it to the host. And he was like, which one did you make? You made the blueberry? And then he sat down. He just fucking had it just because I was bringing it up. He knew it. I was like the fucking, I was like the chick without the date on prom night. He felt bad. That's what it was. It was a sympathy fucking pie slice of pie. Oh, this is too fucking weird now. I'm talking about pie and ladies. What do you want from me? I'm fucking full. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Just checking in on you. How are you? I'm in the middle of a tour. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. This fucking place is amazing. I was just telling somebody about how beautiful it is here. Everybody always goes to Savannah, Georgia. You don't want to go to Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia is like the Times Square of the South, right? Everybody knows about it. Everybody's going to fucking end up there, and then what happens? Yeah? Everybody sits around going, why the fuck didn't we just stay in Atlanta? In fact, that's the number one thing said in Savannah, Georgia. So everybody's all about that, okay? Savannah, Georgia is the VHS of quaint southern cities, all right? Charleston, South Carolina, that's the beta. That's the shit that they should have used, but they didn't, because everybody always gravitates towards, the more mainstream one. So, whatever, they're both beautiful, but I love this fucking place, I'm telling you. You get down near the water, it looks like a Tom Hanks movie. Like Tom Hanks will be walking down the street with Meg Ryan, and all the soccer moms will be like, they just look good together. Speaking of Tom Hanks, did anybody see that movie Sully? Sully, we're going into the water, dude. What the fuck? I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping. Well, Clint Eastwood did it, right? So it'll probably be good. I was just nervous that it was just going to be a bunch of, there's only one place to land this thing, and that's going to be in the water. Like they were going to do some over-dramatic fucking Hollywood shit. But it's Clint Eastwood, so maybe they didn't. I just think it's funny that his name's Sully, and he's not from fucking... I don't even know where he's from. I just looked at his last name, and it's like, that's not Sullivan. Why are they calling him Sully? Sully is short for Sullivan. This other guy, I don't know what his name is. It's like Winowitz or something. So they just go by Sully. I think it's a Polish name. I don't know what the fuck it is. All I know is Tom Hanks let his hair go white, right? Isn't that a weird fucking thing, just dyeing your hair? Like, I don't understand why people do that. Why aren't you allowed to look old? Like, if you're like a 60-year-old... Like, there'll be people in movies, and they're playing like a 60-year-old guy, and they have, like, jet black hair. Fucking shoe polish. Tough like fucking shoe leather, that goddamn shoe polish. Everybody should just let themselves go to shit in Hollywood. That would be great. No, it wouldn't. You still need the hotties. But I'm just saying, once you get past a certain age, like 40, they should just let you go to shit. And that would be great. It's always fun to see some double-chin fucking baldy walking around, right? Or do you guys need him to all look good? I have no fucking idea how it works. All I know is the guy's last name isn't Sullivan. Goes by the name Sully. A couple of fucking birds or something went into the jet engine, and he had to set that thing down in the fucking Hudson River. My God. I can't imagine that. Hey, so I was flying down to South Carolina. That's all I have to say about that. That unbelievable event. I just say, my God. I can't imagine that. All right, next subject. So I was flying down to South Carolina this morning, and fucking Bill Murray was on my flight. How cool is that, huh? Big Ern McCracken. The guy from Stripes, Caddyshack, and all those fucking legendary movies. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. I'm just checking in on you like a friend, like a pal, just calling to say hello, you know what I mean? When somebody calls just to say, air quote, hello, and as much as you're sitting there going, oh, you want to believe it. Oh, this is so nice. He's just saying hello. The thing is, the first 7 minutes. The first 7 minutes, you got to be on pins and needles. Like, when's it coming? When's it coming? When's the favor going to be asked? I never hear from this motherfucker. Now he's calling. Hey, just called to say what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. And they wind their fucking way around. They do-si-do you around the room. You're like, wow, isn't this nice? He just called to say hello. He's really asking me how I'm doing and my wife are doing. And then all of a sudden, Here it comes. Oh, that's great. Interesting you should say that because, dude, I could use about $2,000. I know it's a lot. I'm embarrassed to even ask you, but I just, I hit a little bit of a rough patch. I'll get it back to you probably by the end of the month or maybe never, worst case scenario. I'll never bring it up again, but when you do, I'll make it seem like you're the asshole. Really? You're going to do this now? You're going to do this now in front of my family? They're not here, dude. They left you years ago. Oh, then you're going to bring that up? One of those fucking guys, no matter what you do, somehow you're the douche. Somehow you're the one at fault. You know how that works. People, they don't take responsibility for themselves. Like me, I'm a fucking pillar of this community. That's when you know it's time to move. If I'm saying that type of shit and you live anywhere near me. So, guess what? My old ass kitchen. My old ass fucking kitchen is, they started to work on it today. So we rented a small house around the corner because last time, long-time listeners, we fucking ended up getting smoker coughs. You can't live in a house where they're doing demolition. You just can't. I've done it twice. I did it once in New York. Once again, I was putting a kitchen in. It was the kitchen I had was the ugliest fucking kitchen you've ever seen in your life. The cabinets were like this, when they try to have the flesh color of a slightly less pasty person than me. That color? It's not white. It's not peach. It's not tan. It's just that fucking color. It was that color. Counters and cabinets, and then it was a dark brown outline on the cabinets with that it was like, when they make a doll and it's supposed to be a Caucasian doll, like back in the day. You remember that It was that oh, that's perfect. Minus the rosy cheeks. It was that color, right? Like the color of the thing's fucking foot. I had a doll foot colored kitchen. Was shit brown. And I mean shit brown. Shit fucking brown. Jesus Christ. You're an animal. Shit brown outline around the cabinet. And then I had this fucking stove that, I swear to God, was from the Serpico era of New York. And I want to say the walls were yellow. Used to be a sun yellow, and then that basically over the years faded into your dreams have died, and this is your lot in life yellow. And, I could barely afford to get the kitchen done, so I had to be there, and I was in a one-bedroom apartment, and they did the ceiling-to-floor fucking plastic shit. It gets most of it, but the rest of it goes right into your fucking lungs. It just took for fucking ever, and, but when it was done, it was the shit. When it was finally fucking done. But I remember, you know what they forgot to do? They forgot to give me a little place to put a wastebasket. And they were like, oh, fuck. And then they just jerry-rigged this fucking horseshit that never made sense. I never even used it, and I lost a little cabinet space, which is crucial in any kitchen. Forget about when you got a little-ass fucking one-bedroom apartment in New York. So, the next time I did anything, left New York, sold the old digs, came out here, went back to rent, and then got a fucking house, and we did the whole downstairs, which turned into a fucking nightmare because my house is 93 years old at this point. So we had all kinds of cloth wiring. We had all kinds of galvanized pipe. We had a gas leak. At one point, there were rodents in the wall. So when we took the wall out, there was a bunch of rodent shits in the wall. When they listed that thing and I went to buy it, they didn't say that. They didn't disclose that. You don't have to disclose to the prospective buyer that, oh, by the way, we had some sort of mouse or rat problem. And they ate through the fucking walls and they shit wherever they wanted to shit. And it was literally a shit show. So that took a fucking year to undo. The whole downstairs was completely fucked up, not up to code. Now that took the whole fucking year to get that fixed. So now that's fixed. So, and then upstairs, the floors were warped. if you put a marble on my floor, it would roll as fast as that thing that chased Indiana Jones. Like, that's how fucking warped they were, that giant fucking ball, you know? By the way, that's the only sci-fi type movie I could handle because, you know, it was weird. It was like science fiction, but it was like back in the day, you know? So there was still like peoples. There weren't people walking around with like fucking pointy ears and, you know, grabbing you by your fucking scapula and then you, for some reason, pass out, even though it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. No, it's a Vulcan nerve. What? I mean, there's nerves everywhere. What exactly is there? The fuck is that dude's name? Spock. Right? Did he have a last name? Or was that not logical? You fucking douche. With your Mo from the Three Stooges haircut. You're not fooling anybody. Right? And your diva fucking eyebrows. That dude was a fraud. Anyways. The fuck, I started talking about Spock. No, I'm getting my fucking kitchen. So today was a big day. So we moved into the little fucking small place, right? And, you know, just grab clothes and shit. You know, that's it. Bottle of booze. I hate to say that I actually packed up a bottle of booze. I mean, Bill, how many fucking red flags do you need to see? I took that thing with me like, ooh, I got to bring that like I forgot my checkbook. I got to tell you, it was delicious. Delicious. A little bourbon called Yippee-Ki-Yay. Not motherfucker for all you diehard fans, just Yippee-Ki-Yay. Might be a whiskey. I don't even know. All I know is when you pour it into the glass, you can't put a fucking ice cube in it because it's just that fucking beautiful. It would be absolutely sacrilegious. My wife's fucking calling me right now. What is the problem? What is the problem? I heard you pull up. I can't figure out the keys. I sense that you're laying down enjoying yourself. Is there any way you could get up and not be relaxed? All right, here we go. Doing podcast. Oh, then I can't do that. That's too blunt. What's up? All right. What's up? What should I go with? Cutie? Let's go with Sweetie. Sweetie Pie? Is that too much? Is that too pandering? We're going to go with Sweetie. Question mark. No emoji. Emojis for fucking boys. All right? Real men don't emoji. All right? They take their big fucking deviled egg eating thumbs and they try to... They do the best they can. I use emojis. My favorite thing to do is to use emojis with another man who fucking, for some reason, will get like homophobic if you send him one. You know? And once you sense that on them, you just keep sending more and more emojis, and you gradually build your way up to that the little fucking smiley face that's blowing the kiss that's a little heart, you know? Anyway, so we fucking... where? Guest house? No, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck does it matter where the fuck I'm doing it? Guest house? You mean garage? They're always trying to fucking hook shit up. No, fucking downstairs. She's out in the driveway. All right. Anyways, plowing ahead. Why would you answer it, Bill? Why would you answer it? When am I going to learn that? You just don't fucking answer it. And then they'll be like, where were you? What were you doing? You see them, and then you just get it all out. And it's so much easier to say it than to try to fucking text it. Forget about that whole voice message thing. It always ends up fucking something up. Especially pronouns, so it never makes any sense. That and there. Or maybe I'm a mumbling jackass. I'll tell you right now who could not voice text is Shannon Sharp. Jesus Christ. I don't know who's harder to understand him. Understand is him or that fucking guy who picked me up in Scotland. Bull. Hey, Bull, Willem. You prefer Bull or Willem? Okay, you're looking at me. I don't know what... Are you literally talking to me? You prefer Bull or Willem? Empathy. Which brings me to Colin Kaepernick. Oh, what a segue. I am not going to watch... I'm not going to watch any part of this story. Only thing I'm just going to listen to what he says. which is, I think, I'm not going to sit here and these fucking assholes on sports radio are going to try to get me all fucking stirred up like what he's doing is going to somehow bring down this country. And second of all, like, I'm going to sit, I cannot sit there and listen to a bunch of people act like they don't understand where this is coming from. You know what I mean? This is a good time, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I think this is, for me personally, I'm like, you know what? I'm a white male, heterosexual. I can basically, within reason, do whatever the fuck I want to do. Here's a guy who's making zillions of fucking dollars and he still feels this way. This is, I should probably shut the fuck up and listen to what he has to say, as opposed to all of these soapbox cunts. So this person, like, of course, shows a picture of a soldier who lost both his fucking legs and writes all this fucking bullshit. And I so wanted to just tweet to the person, be like, hey, let me ask you a question. What's that soldier's name? What happened to that person? Are they being taken care of? Do you know anything about that person? Will you just fucking hoard out the worst fucking thing that obviously has happened in this guy's fucking life is for your own political propaganda? I don't know. I can't even talk about it. I just can't stand white people who act like they don't understand. I don't know. But something, I can't even get mad because I'm a hypocrite. Everybody's a fucking hypocrite. There's literally people out there, they're going to chastise that guy and act like they don't understand what he's talking about and completely not in touch with the fact that if he moved into their neighborhood, let's just say he was unknown and a black guy moved into their neighborhood, that, how not thrilled they would be. You know what I mean? It's just the amount of fucking people out there. It's fucking hilarious. If you read half the shit that people are writing, they say, this guy should be lucky he's in this fucking country, blah, blah. And then in the middle of that are writing racist shit. That's why I think this is a great thing. I think it's great that he's doing it. And it's just a way to open up a little conversation. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna turn into a bunch of people fucking yelling at each other as it always does, and then unfortunately nothing's gonna get changed. It's gonna be a bunch of people going, "My kid's in the fucking Navy. My uncle fought in Vietnam for your freedom, buddy. If you don't like it, go back to fucking Swahili," right? Whatever the fuck they're gonna say. Completely ignoring the fact that there's been an astounding level of cell phone video over the last couple of years. Can you at least admit that? Of some pretty questionable fucking / murderous behavior. All this shit your whole life that you heard black people saying was happening. Now there's video. And I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying everybody black is fucking innocent. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of fucking people black pinned on the fucking ground, no hopes of getting up, shot in the back or just shot in the fucking chest. So you can't, if you're a fucking rational human being, regardless of color, can you really sit there and act like you don't understand where that's coming from? So, I don't want to listen to, I don't know. You can't fucking, you're going to argue with somebody on their experience? Let me tell you something. Your idea of how your life's going is wrong. And I can say that because I'm over here living my own fucking life. So, anyways, I think it's great that he's fucking doing it, and hopefully it goes into in a positive direction. Because you know what? I don't think any cop wants to go out and shoot somebody that's innocent either. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. I have no fucking idea what's going on, but I definitely think something ought to be discussed. There. Now I'm off my fucking soapbox. But I'm hoping more people than not won't respond to this guy with fucking anger. I really don't think that that's the way to go about it. But in my heart of hearts, I know that that's what's going to happen. I know he's going to get booed on the road by a bunch of fucking lunatics, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be fucking ugly, and there's going to be people holding up signs, and they're going to make his life experience about them. Which I think is a selfish thing to do at this point, okay? Nobody's saying that, anybody who fights for this country isn't a hero. Nobody's saying that. I think this guy's just saying, hey, my group of people is getting murdered. You know, innocent people are getting murdered, and this needs to stop. How you could be against that, I don't know, and how you would then somehow wrap your fucking life into his shit when, you know, at least I can't do that when I can drive down the fucking street. You want to have a fucking hilarious story? One time my brother-in-law, right, was going to move across this country, and he was driving across the country in this sheer panic my wife and my mother-in-law had. It was instantly a sketch to me. Because I'm thinking, you're driving across the country. You got to do Route 66, you know, make sure you hit the arch. And they are in full-on panic mode going, don't drive at night. Only stop in major cities. Do not get off the highway in the middle of major cities. Like they were in, like you would think that he was in Russia. And, you know, I mean, right there. Can you imagine? Can you imagine fucking driving across the country, and if you get pulled off in the middle of nowhere, there could be a chance you could get shot to death just because you're reaching for your license? And I'm not saying it's fucking everybody and all that shit, but that is actually a something that could happen to a citizen in this fucking country is pretty crazy. So, I don't know. I already said I was off my soapbox. But I was instantly just picturing that as a sketch. That would be like a great Chappelle Show sketch. Now, would it be a great one, Bill? Well, I think Chappelle could make it great. How about that? You know, just have the really white guy in the background. You got to see Old Faithful. Dakota Access Pipeline, whatever the fuck this means. You definitely have my... piqued my interest here. Hi, Bill. I've been listening to your podcast for 1.5 years. You're a very funny comedian. I was hoping to get your thoughts on the Dakota Access Pipeline. Now, for some reason, I feel like this is some sort of jokey thing, and they just wanted to hear me say it out loud. But I'll look it up. Dakota Access Pipeline. Let's see what the fuck this is. Dakota Access Pipeline protests in North Dakota turned violent. All right. When do protests not turn violent? It's always this protesters, and then the cops show up, like, everybody take it easy, and then somebody goes, you fucking take it easy, man, and then somebody throws a punch, and then it's a brawl. All right, protests against the Dakota Access Pipeline in North Dakota turned violent on Saturday. Demonstrators supporting the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe faced off with private security officers from the Dallas-based Energy Transfer Partners. Wait, it's on Native American land, and the big corporation has their own security officers? Is Julia Roberts already optioned this for an Oscar-winning role? She goes in and somehow figures out how to defeat the Dallas-based Energy Transfer Partners. Video from the scene showed security officers threatening protesters with dogs. As All Things Considered reported, hundreds of Native Americans from tribes across the country have set up a camp near the construction site in North Dakota. The Army Corps of Engineers approved the oil pipeline in July, allowing it to run under the Missouri River, close to the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe Reservation. And you know what's going to happen eventually. That pipeline's going to burst, as they always do. Protesters worry that the $3.8 billion pipeline, which is slated to run through 4 states, could disturb sacred sites and affect the reservation's drinking water. Abso-fucking-lutely. If human beings are involved, there's always the chance that can happen. The show Democracy Now! Was at the site of the protest Saturday and documented some tense moments. Dogs appeared to bite protesters, and security guards appeared to use pepper spray. Warning, the video below includes some fleeting explicatives. I think I can handle this. Let's.
Criminal! You guys are criminals!
Okay.
Go get your money somewhere else!
We're standing at the construction site of the Dakota Access Pipeline. It looks like there are at least...
Yeah, these people are not going to win. It's a bunch of people saying no, wearing like hipster hats, while people drive bulldozers. It's already happening. Oh, yeah. It looks disorganized. There's a bunch of different signs.
My name's Jacob Johns.
And where are you from?
Spokane, Washington. I'm hoping I don't come out.
And can you describe what you see?
This is so nuts. Like, to come down and yell at people on bulldozers, like, I guess because you want to get the attention of the media, but they're on bulldozers on the other side of a wire. So, like, what are you going to do? Once protesters arrived at the construction area, they broke down a wire fence by stepping and jumping on it. Then, of course, immediately they're trespassing. According to numerous witnesses, within 5 minutes, the crowd of protesters, estimated to be a few hundred people, became violent. They stampeded into the construction area with horses, dogs, and vehicles. Okay, and it was said more... The sheriff said it was more like a riot than a protest, but the cops always say that. You know, and then the protesters always say the cops throw the first punch. You never know who to believe. It's just like, let's watch this. This is like protester WWE, all right? This guy's got a cell phone. He looks to be Native American, or maybe he's appropriating their culture, you know, having his hair long. I don't know what's going on. There's a fucking helicopter. Let's get to the dogs. Water is life. Somebody held that, and it was written, and there was a feather in the background. All right, now here's a woman. Uh-oh, this isn't going to end well.
People have gone through the fence.
They're going through the fence.
The bulldozers are still going. And
Oh, shit. Oh, somebody got... Nice tackle. Nice tackle.
And they're
Oh, now they got some dogs.
dirt mounds. Some of the security.
I think they're going Tiananmen Square here. They're just trying to get in front of them. Yeah, this sounds crazy. This sounds like the usual big business thing that I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I do feel like eventually they're going to do enough of that fracking, and then they'll fuck up all the water, all the drinking water. And I don't think corporations care. I just think there'll be, well, then that's great. Then there'll be no fresh water for anybody to use, so they'll have to all go to Nestle for their fresh water, you know? And then we'll say that it's distilled, but it really isn't. It sort of is. And when they get sick, the class action suit versus the money we're going to make, yeah, we're not going to give a fuck. We'll pay them off. That'll be it. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any faith in anything, to be honest with you. I think we're just going to completely destroy the planet and each other. But in the meantime, if I can make you laugh a little bit... You remember at the end of George Carlin's life when people were saying he got too fucking angry? I didn't think that. I was just like, yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense to me. It was still funny to me. Still made sense. I thought, I don't know. However, he read the tea leaves. It made sense to me. I don't know, just about the whole way we go about fucking communicating with each other. We just end up screaming and yelling. And then we get physical, and somebody hits somebody, and then all hell breaks loose. That's what happens. It happens, you know, I do it. I started discussing this election with some people the other day, and within 3 minutes of me talking, 3/4 of the people walked out of the room. I mean, that's how insufferable I am. Is that the right word? Women's suffrage, whatever the fuck it is. What do I think about it? I was hoping to get your thoughts on the Dakota Access Pipeline. I don't know, dude. There's just too many fucking people because everyone, you know, I love a Tesla, I love a Prius and all that shit, but if you get all these cars, then all of a sudden everybody has to plug in their car. Then that's more energy. I know when you make electricity that, you know, you need machines and the machines need the oil. So we consume is what we do, and there's too many of us. That's the fucking problem. All these technological advancements that we make are tremendous. It's just the amount of people that have to live off of them. That's where it's like getting fat. You know what I mean? All fat is you're taking in more calories than you're burning, and that's kind of like what we're doing. Except we're taking more than we're giving back, and eventually it's got to run out. So I think there's going to be a drastic decision at some point. It's going to have to be made about the population. You know, it's just inevitable. When there's fucking 6 million people left. Why did I pick that number? I shouldn't have said that number. Let me take a more empathetic number, because that's what I was thinking of. I was literally thinking Hitler. I mean, someone's going to end up doing that. If we could somehow all sit down and talk this out, and this, but just what you would literally have to do. You'd literally have to try to get everybody in the world on the same page and to see it the same way. You know? Yet if you're at fucking, you order a UFC event, you get 10 people in the room. I mean, how many can people agree on the one place to order from? If you put it up to a vote, you know, you're going to get the whole world to get on page. Somebody's just going to have to do the old right there, Fred. I don't know, dude. They should do it first voluntarily. Like they should be, all right, this is the deal. We're going to have to take out, we got to get this number down below 1 billion, and there's 7.5 billion of us. So we're going to get to this number no matter what. It's like when a fucking flight is oversold and they try to get some volunteers, you know. I wonder if the tree huggers, you know, I'm a lazy tree hugger. I love nature, but, you know, I'm not going to go make a sign or chain myself to a sapling, you know. So, you know, I talk a good game, but I don't do any of the shit, right? So what I'm wondering is if they're going, look, we're going to get the population down below to 1 billion, one way or the other. We're asking for some volunteers. If you're willing to walk into the wood chipper or whatever the fuck you have to do, you know, we'll give a voucher to the surviving members of your family or whatever. I mean, but even then, they have to. If you're gonna cut it by that much, because I literally think that's what we're gonna run into, and then there's gonna be this big like I think at that Bilderberg shit. Like this is what they have to talk about. Going, okay, we have to keep the best of the best of each race, each gender. You hope that they're going to do that, right? And yeah, and then everybody else has to go, and then they got to be, well, wait, we don't want to mow our own lawns, right? We got to keep some meatheads around to pick shit up. We don't want to have to, like, if we kill too many people, then all of a sudden we have to build our own log cabins. We don't want that. So it's going to be really like, you know, they're almost going to have their own fucking city that we don't know about, right? And everybody goes, like, almost like Superman's hideout, and everybody goes up there, right? And it's enough people to keep humanity going. But at this point, you'd need enough people to, you ever see that fucking thing? Like, what would happen if all the people went away? And after, like, I don't know how many days, like, the nuclear reactors, they all had, like, the meltdowns, you know? Because whatever was going on wasn't keeping those fucking things that Homer Simpson always takes home with them. They don't keep it cool. Jesus, I'm way in over my head now, huh? I don't know how many fucking people you'd have to keep alive, but I just don't see it. So as far as the Dakota Access Pipeline, that's just one of those things where I watch it and I feel bad for the people that live there, and I don't know enough about the other end of it. I know they're trying to make money, but they also are trying to keep 300 million people living at a certain standard of living, right? Aren't they? Here in this country? I have no fucking idea. All right, Jesus Christ. That literally gave me a headache. Stop paying bills. Hey, Bill, thanks for the laughs. You're welcome. Thank you for listening. In search of the solution to the fucking bankers. In search of the solution for the fucking bankers, I had a crazy thought. What if the 99% just simply stop paying all of our bills to major corporations? Mortgage, credit cards, line of credit. I'm not exactly convinced it's a solution, but you can imagine the chaos even if half of the population did that. Just thought it would be interesting to get your thoughts on this. Now I must get back to cleaning this grocery store. Fuck you and everything you do. I had to bring that back. All right. Did people used to say that? I like that. Fuck you and everything you do. Well, here's the thing. All right. If everybody just didn't pay their bills, then, like, the whole thing would stop. and they would put a lock on all the banks. I mean, all that money that they loaned out that's your money, that's my money, that's regular people's fucking money, right? It's not rich people's money. They're not loaning unless they put it in a bank, I guess. Yeah, like that would not work. That wouldn't work, and then they would just be like, all right, well, then you guys have no more money. And you know them, they fucking, the 1%, I mean, they got like fucking wine cellars and shit, and they got like, you know, they eat like woolly mammoth steaks, you know, they got fucking food for days, for months. They can totally wait us out. The only way to fix all of this was human beings would have to have been wired differently, and we're not. At the end of the day, you know, a lot of the shit that the upper 1% is doing, I think all of us would also be doing if we had that opportunity. It's just sort of natural. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, people don't handle power well, myself included. It's an interesting thought. I have no fucking idea. I just wish that they would just, you know, I pay my bills. Why can't this country pay the bills? Why can't you just keep, you know, why do we always got to be in this level of fucking debt? They just keep going and going and going and going and going, and they act like someday like the shit's not going to hit the fan. Jesus, guys, can you tell by these answers that these questions you're asking me, they're just way beyond my ability. Maybe this is why you do it. All right, emotionally cheating. Hi, Bill. A big fan of your stand-up in the MM podcast. I wanted to get your advice on a relationship question. I got married to my wife last year in September, who I've known for 10 years prior to tying the knot. At the start of this year, my wife, age 30, admitted to me that she has been emotionally cheating. Jesus, she told you? Why didn't she tell you? As far as I know, no physical cheating on me, which started a couple months prior to us getting married with her 51-year-old coworker, who's a divorcee with 2 kids. What? I was completely blind. He said sighted. It's blind-sided, not sighted. Blind-sided, and in shock when she told me this. About a month ago, she told me she needs to go find herself. Oh, yeah, okay. And has recently moved out into her own apartment, and we are currently separated, most likely headed towards a divorce. That's why she told you. Thankfully, we do not have any kids together. My dad keeps telling me to try and woo her back and work out our marital issues. Even if I could do that, I'm not sure I want someone who has betrayed marital trust and scarred me in such a way. What do you think? Looking forward to season 2 of his Efforts for Family. Keep up the good work and go fuck yourself. I think you're in a great position. You should stay there, dude. Fuck this, okay? You've known her for 10 years. She's 30. So you met her real young. She didn't get to go out and go do everything that she wants to do. And, yeah, dude, I would walk away. You know, if you guys are roughly the same age, dude, you still got a lot of time. And I would, you know, she did you a huge favor. Just look at it that way, dude, okay? Football season's here. Get the NFL package, you know? Start hitting the gym. Just get on with your life, man. That's what I would honestly do. And just, you know, get yourself in a great positive headspace, dude. You don't have any kids. She was upfront and honest. She's 30. She's fucking got her tongue hanging out about some 51-year-old. I don't know. That's fucking weird to me, but I'm also a guy. Let her go, man. You know when you let a fish run on the line, maybe tire it out? I would literally throw the whole rod in the water. Just let that one get away. Cut the line. Fuck that. Like I said, man. Fuck that, dude. Go travel. Go to Europe. Go do something. I don't know. Go. Yeah, you don't need that shit in your life. Thank God. You know, I actually felt relieved as I was reading that when I got to the end that you guys are going to get divorced. You don't have any kids. That's fucking great, dude. You're in a great position. Don't listen to your dad. He's probably old school. It's a hell of a thing for me to say. I don't know your dad, but I just, you know, old people they're always into that. Work it out, blah, blah, blah. You know, fuck that. Yeah. Football season. Get yourself a kegerator. Just don't get fat, like me. Right? I did the Opie and Jimmy show, had a great time. And then I went down to the Village, that's right, to do Lenny Marcus's and fucking Kevin Brennan's podcast at the Comedy Cellar. And they have an oatmeal place, just oatmeal. I never order oatmeal publicly. I never do it because it always tastes like paste and they fuck it up. But that place, all they do is oatmeal. Or they call themselves oatmeals, so they're into the shit. So I went in there and I got a bowl of that, so that was good, right? You guys got to listen to this podcast, by the way. You know what's funny? There was so much screaming and yelling on this, just done by one man, by the way. Kevin Brennan, just out of his fucking tree, screaming at me. You ever want to listen to somebody just scream at me, and be mad that I'm selling tickets? This is the show you have to fucking listen to. Let me find out the name here. Lenny Marcus podcast. All right, here we go. What is it called? Something. Misery Loves Company. All right, it's him and Kevin Brennan. And Jesus Christ, Kevin Brennan was going off on me. But I got some good digs in on him. At one point, he was so fucking over the top screaming that me and Lenny were just sort of singing underneath him, like happy songs to try to take the edge off of what he was saying. But we were having fun. But I don't know when that fucking thing's coming out. But to give you an example, he's like, "Oh, what do you? Oh, I'm fucking Bill Burr. I just get on stage and I fucking scream, and then I get to play these big venues." He was just trashing me the entire fucking time. And I got to admit, at 11 in the morning was a little bit much, but came out of it unscathed. When I go to do, what drives me up the fucking wall? When you go to do the Opie and Jimmy show, they got this space age elevator system where you don't just hit the button. You got to hit what floor you're on. So the whole concept is that, like, all right, because people have to get to work fast. There's like 40 fucking floors. If we break them up into clusters, like these 5 floors are here, these fucking 4 are over there. In theory, it always, to make it more fucking difficult, always seems like somehow it's going to make it easier, which it never does. So you go there, right? Now you got to look on your card to remember what fucking floor you're going to, So I went up and I was like, that wasn't bad. That actually maybe made it faster. And then when I go to leave the show, I want to hit lobby, and I'm hitting lobby, and I'm hitting lobby, and I'm hitting lobby, and it's not fucking working. You know why? Because I'm on, like, the top floor, and that's the only one anybody hits when they're up there. So it's all fucking worn out like some old, like, ATM thing. And I'm just sitting there in a panic. Like, I got to go down to Lenny's fucking podcast. I can't get the elevator. Just fucking hit the arrow button. I know I sound like a goddamn curmudgeon, but I swear to God, like, we should have stopped with the fucking technology. And I know this would affect the fact I wouldn't even be able to get to do this podcast, but I don't give a shit. Somewhere in the mid-90s was the tipping point, all right? Now we can keep people alive too long. We're just making everything fucking difficult. Everything gets replaced, and then you just throw it in the fucking ocean, right? I mean, that's no good, is it? But last night I sat in with the fucking band. And it was funny because I told you when I went over to I was in Italy. I was just I was jet lagged, and I always end up stumbling on some sort of fucking shit on YouTube. Like the first time I went over to Europe, since I've been doing the podcast, I somehow stumbled upon somebody who had uploaded all 4 of the Pittsburgh Steelers' first 4 wins in the Super Bowl, the games in their entirety. And I just sat and watched, and I binged watched him because I was afraid the NFL was going to take him down. And every time I go over there, I find something fucking I just end up in some weird part of the fucking internet where I find something cool. And I ended up getting across, I don't know, I was just thinking about back in the day. Somebody asked a question about like me taking drum lessons and who I studied with. And how I used to be at this music store that was in downtown Brockton. I don't even know if it's there anymore. That was yet another victim of Guitar Center. But that reminded me that one of the big drummers out of there was that Bobby Chouinard. I hope I'm saying his name right. Chouinard, however you say it. And I was like, he used to play for Billy Squier. And I started watching Billy Squier. And then I was like, this fucking guy was great. It's a great front man. He sort of straddled the line of fucking rock band, pop band. Did it great. And even the video that they said, took him down. If you close your eyes, that was a hit song in the 80s. Total hit song. They just had the wrong video. And unfortunately, they didn't have another hit after that. So that's the last thing everybody remembers, right? Your last season. You're only good as your last game, right? So anyways, long story short, a friend of mine hit me up. And he mentioned he was doing a show. Frankie Perez, who, if you guys ever saw that time, I got to sit in with Dave Kushner and a couple of his buddies, wink, wink, and play Highway to Hell. He was the lead singer. This guy's just like a fucking amazing singer. So he mentioned that he was going to be down at, there's a bowling alley. The fuck is it even? I never know the names of places. It's right on, like, Hollywood Boulevard, right around the corner from where they do the Oscars. And so he said his band was playing. I was like, yeah, I'd love to go down and fucking see you play or whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then he goes, hey, man, you want to sit in on a song? And I told you, that's my fucking rule. I don't force my Hollywood. I don't force my hobby. Jesus Christ, there's a fucking Freudian slip. I don't force my ego. I don't force my hobby on you. But if you ask me, I'm going to say yes. I don't give a shit how terrifying the situation is. I'm going to say yes. So I go, all right, well, we'll figure out this song. I said, by the way, man, this guy is way better than people remember. And I sent him this Billy Squier, The Lonely is the Night. And then he wrote back, he goes, dude, I fucking love that guy. He goes, you want to do that song? And that just struck me as funny. I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Everybody's always playing AC/DC, Zeppelin, and all that shit. I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So then I was texting my other buddies saying, yeah, man, we're going to do Lonely as the Night by Billy Squier. And they were all like, that's an interesting choice. But I knew Frankie was going to kill it. So anyway, so I go down there. And he just has this fucking monster fucking band of players. Like, they're sitting there tuning up to play. And they were going to do a cover of Dazed and Confused. And the other band's like, load in their shit. And just the guitar player played the first sort of notes of the song, and I don't mean like the bass line. I just mean some of the licks. And he had a Telecaster, just like Jimmy had, when he first came over here, played at the Whiskey. And I was just like, oh, fuck, are they going to do Dazed and Confused? And then he breaks out the bow. And I swear to God, man, it sounded like the album. Then the whole band kicks in. And the woman on drums, Valerie Franco, right? There's like a house drum kit. She says, get that shit out of there. Puts in her own fucking kit. She's got a Vista-like kit. What do they call it? The candy striped vintage one. They start micing it up. It sounds fucking unbelievable. And I'm listening to her play and I'm going like, oh shit. I got to go on after that. Like, they're going to pass off one song to me after she plays, right? And this is just the sound check. I didn't realize that she was only going like 40%. I tweeted a video of her playing a cover to Mute Math, of all people. And I heard that she's going to be doing something with Darren King, their drummer. But, dude, I got to tell you, when that fucking show started, the woman that I saw at Soundcheck was like, it was not the same person. And I was blown away by the Soundcheck. Dude, she fucking destroyed. The set began, she just hit the cymbals like twice, and I was like, what the fuck? That sounded better than anything I've played in 20 years. Absolutely fucking was murdering on the drums. And when it was coming time for me to play the song I was sitting in, I was literally getting the same butterflies I used to get way back in the day when I first started doing stand-up and there was somebody killing on stage. And I was just... comedians know this, where all of a sudden you feel like you're 2 inches tall going like, I can't follow that. So she gets off, right? They finish thing. Murders it for 6-7 songs, and then she comes back, hands me the stick. She's just like, all right, you're up. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, no problem, right? So I sit down and we go to play it, and The whole fucking thing went great, except I fucked up one major part, right? Like the guitar riff. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. There's a part where the whole band drops out and the guitar plays, right? Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then on the snare and the floor tom, you and the bass player at the same time go, ga-ga-ga-ga, just like that. Da-da-da-da-da-da, ga-ga-ga-ga, ba-da-da-da-da-da, right? I fucking forgot to do that part. So the guitar player, total rock star, goes, ba-da-da-da-da-da, and I missed my cue. And then, so it's just the bass player going, boop, 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 boop. No, boop, 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 boop. I felt like such a fucking asshole. I think I literally said, oops. Like if anybody, for whatever reason, was filming during that, if, everybody's got the fucking iPhones. If anybody, you might even see me say, oops. But I don't think anybody noticed because I think most of the crowd was like, what fucking song is this? But it ended up going. I was nervous about the first part because the first time they drop out, he does all this cymbal barks and a couple of nods to Bonham there, and those things went off without a hitch. So then you start, dude. It's all like I've found the few times I've ever sat in a band. The second you lose your focus, you just can't do it. All those years I played, you just play along with like, playing along with records versus just being the only person playing is an entirely different game. And then if you sit in at a sound check and the singer's not singing, then you really have to be fucking paying attention. And I just, once I got past that little fucking shit on the hi-hat and the little Bonham lick, I was like, oh man, it's all fucking downhill from here. This is all pretty much straightforward shit. And fucking Freckles, as always. At some point, no matter how well I'm playing, I always turn back into the pumpkin, which I think is apropos considering the shape of my head. But anyways, I want to thank all those guys for letting me sit in. They were fucking amazing. This other guy, Sal, on keys. I apologize to some of the other people. I mean, there was like 5 or 6 people up there. Another woman, Kayla, singing her ass off. It was fucking awesome, man. And I swear to God, in another life, the same way I would have done comedy and continued to sleep on a futon right until my 40s, right up to my 40s, like I basically did, I would have done that to try to make it as a drummer. It's just too much fucking fun.